Hey, welcome. So we live? We're live. Okay, good. Hello, hello. Is that okay? It's Mebo. How's it going? Anyway, let's start. We're going to talk about when you have been with a narcissistic person, you've had the manipulation, you've had the trauma and whatnot that it's caused you, when you've had things that have created um the a difficulty in attaching later on when it's difficult in new relationships, with new friendships, with new partners, with new anything really, to attach, to feel safe, to trust. And we're going to talk about ways to help with that, what it's like, and all of that. So before we get started, I'm Lise Colucci, one of the life coaches over at queenbeing.com. If you don't know me, check us out over there. You can read about it. Hey, Christy. um, Also, if you need any help with anything, head over there as well, queenbeing.com. Lots of info, lots of help. If you need any direct coaching, you can find me in the comments section of every video. There's a link to talk about the coaching that's available, all that good stuff. If you need group coaching, that's a totally different thing. I host it and I lead it, and it's a fantastic group. So we meet 3 times a week. We talk a lot. It's a lot of support for a lot of people. So if you need it, head over there. It's in the main description of every video. Let's get started. Okay. Also, thumbs up, subscribe, all the good stuff. Hey there. Okay. Valkyrie has cute. Is that right? Okay. Hello. Welcome. First time. Um, okay. Getting my thoughts organized. We're gonna talk. Somebody had asked about why it's so difficult for them. What's wrong with them was the question. What's wrong with me? I can't attach. I don't feel loved. Not so much I don't feel loved. I don't enjoy the love that's coming toward me. I'm not able to let it in. I'm not. They said I'm not. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but a lot of people have said this. So that it's difficult to trust, it's difficult to attach, it's difficult to feel the good things that are coming towards you. And it makes a lot of sense. You've been through something that has sort of taught you very abruptly that it's not safe, right? You've been through something that has created feelings of insecurity, feelings of low self-esteem, feelings of like low self-worth. So why would you deserve it? You're also been taught that the other shoe is going to drop, and that anything good coming your way comes with price. All right. Um, but when you are we allowed to ask questions in the chat? Absolutely. Please do feel free. I jump around in topics if I need to, if someone is asking a question. So yes. And if I don't get to it, ask again. It just means my scrolling is not working in my my functioning. Okay. Um, uh, okay. Jack, can you please remove that comment? Thanks. So anyway, totally did distract. I'm gonna start over. All right. Okay. Let's just get to it. So you've had an experience that has left you feeling like you can't trust, or like it's difficult to um have, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna come back. I'm like ready to come back later. I'm flustered. I got completely flustered there. This is what happens when we get triggers. Okay, gonna keep going. What are you saying here? Okay. I'm having a hard time reading. I'm gonna leave the chat alone and I'm gonna just keep going. So, what can you do when you're feeling like you can't trust anyone, or like love coming towards you, you're not able to receive it, you're not able to feel it? It's pretty common. It happens. It's very difficult when you have CPTSD to not have triggers all the time, to not have feelings that of self-protection. And it's also, if we have learned to disassociate from our emotions in order to cope, it's difficult to then rejoin the land of the emotional feelings, right? And especially something intense like a new relationship or a really strong friendship or something like that, or even family members. It's hard to allow the good in anymore because you've shut out everything in order to protect yourself. So baby steps as you open up yourself to feeling again, and things like experiencing nature, experiencing just what you enjoy in life, and noticing when you have the experience of something good, right? Little baby steps toward that. But more specifically, if you're in something new, or you have a new friendship, or you're trying to connect to others and you're struggling, let's talk about that. So one thing you can do, I'm kind of all over the place and I apologize for the beginning. Okay. Um, but one thing you can do is make a commitment to yourself to live in the reality that is the reality. So what happens is someone may be giving, say you're in a new relationship with someone, or and you've been in it long enough to know, to feel that it is safe. You've experienced this person enough. You're not in the like looking for red flags. We all should be always, all the time, kind of a little bit, right? But you're trusting this person, you're trusting this relationship, and you're trying to just connect and just be in it and experience this relationship, and you can't. Okay. um Living in reality can mean watching what's actually happening, because what's happening in our heads often is we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're waiting for something bad. We're constantly searching for red flags. Well, you can see the red flags a lot better if you just sit back and watch. If you just be in the moment, be in the reality of what's actually happening with that person, see that person for who they are, and realize that when you're triggered and you're feeling like, I need to run, I need to get out of here, because a lot of people in new relationships have this feeling of needing to bolt, right? After they've been with a narcissist. Some people cling and other people need to bolt because it's really uncomfortable to be vulnerable. So if you're in the reality of the moment, you can slow it down to see what's actually happening, and you can let yourself remember that you're just triggered right now. Sometimes we need a little break. We need to take a few minutes for ourselves. We need to be in the moment and pay attention to what's actually happening by stepping out for just a second and then coming back in. So there's that. I'm going to read this question and then we'll go to the next one. You've been as zen as you can for weeks. Today, arg, not narcissism. Off topic. Couldn't get food again. A lot going on there. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. How do you deal with a narcissistic parent that doesn't communicate with you and then out of nowhere responds politely? This is a Hoover to make me feel crazy. This is a Hoover to get them what they want. I don't think they're like, oh, I'm going to make her feel crazy. Well, maybe, but it's to get something out of you, to force you back into the cycle with them by being polite. Yeah. How you deal with it is you continue to gray rock, you stay the low contact if that's what you are, or the no contact if that's what you are, and you hold your course for what you want for your life. And if they are toxic, you don't owe them anything. You know what I mean? Like it's you got to take care of yourself. You have to, because it'll just be the same cycle. All right. So does that help? Okay. I'm going to move on to the next thing. Another thing that can help you. Okay, let's assume you're in a new relationship. Let's assume it's that, or you're trying to be. Sometimes what happens is we're pretty healed. We think we're ready to move on. We think we are ready in some ways, okay? And then we get into something and it all stirs up again. That can be a time to step back into therapy if you need it, step back into coaching if you need it, step into something that where you have a support system that gets what you've been through and that you can process the things that are coming up, okay? So there's that. Um if you along with living in the moment, like I said, making a commitment to being in reality, be in real time. What's actually happening right now for you? What's actually going on in the moment? Instead of what could happen in the future. Oh my gosh, this person could do that. or what's happened in the past. Well, in the past, I've had people do this. Unless the past directly relates to this person, it's irrelevant to this situation if you're trying to stay in the moment. Does that make sense? Of course, we learn from our mistakes and we learn from the things that have happened to us. And so we're going to try and bring it forward, but it's not fair to yourself or the relationship to bring the toxic person from your past into the new one unless you're seeing the same red flags. Okay. So this is tricky because we want to stay vigilant, but at the same time, we want to stay in real time with the person and with ourselves. So it's about noticing what's actually happening in this moment versus last. So sometimes the same thing can happen, but it's completely different. Does that make sense? It is really hard to have new relationships when you've had your head messed with so badly. Okay. And so it's sort of a balance between staying vigilant and allowing the person to be who they are, staying in the moment with them and with yourself and paying attention at the same time. All right. What are you saying here? We'll talk in a little bit more, Valkyrie, if you need, if you have other questions about how to handle it today. Okay. Christy's saying, or you get sucked back in by the narcissist thinking you know who they are now. Yep. Okay. Um, what could it mean if he's hoovering? Why is he looking to get something? There's a it we have to stop worrying about why they're hoovering and just accept that they are. Because otherwise you're spending your day, your time, your focus on the toxic person. She's asking why a narcissist would be hoovering and what they're looking for. If we spend our time worrying about it too much, then we are literally wasting our time because it doesn't matter why they're hoovering now. They'll have a different reason next time. The only reason it would matter is if it's something you need to avoid or to keep you safe, right? Um, Without knowing them, I would have no way to answer that. It could be anything. Um, it's probably something that they're always looking for. They don't really stray too far, right? Um, right, here we go. I like the way you worded that, and it's 11:11, guys. Um, the truth of the behavior in the truth of your current circumstances. Right. The truth of the behavior and the truth of the current helps you stay in the moment, helps you stay present. Um, and if your head is spinning on running to run because someone's giving you affection and for whatever reason you're triggered by it, the truth of the moment isn't sorry, my goodness, this is one of those days. I'm like, why do I try on Friday? I don't know. All right. Okay. Let's see. So when you're feeling like you want to bolt and you're in something new, rash and harsh decision making, quick decision making may not be the best choice for you in that moment. So giving yourself some space before you make the decision, before you open your mouth to say I'm ready to run, before you push the person away, to you may need more space is what I'm saying. You may need more you may need to take a walk, you may need to take a drive, you may need to just remove yourself from the situation for a few minutes and then come back without it being without it affecting the other person, of course, right? It may need something you need to talk about that you struggle with attachment right now and you're really trying to attach and you appreciate the person's caring and love, and you need some space when you feel these feelings so that you don't take those feelings and bring them to the relationship, right? um that brings me to appreciation. So if you're feeling like you are unable to accept someone's loving you, you're feeling like pushing it away, it may be time to verbally, written, however it helps you, speak the gratitude of the relationship that you're in. Acceptance can come from the gratitude that you feel. If you're not feeling any gratitude, look for things that are positive. It could be you're just not ready to be in this relationship too. But I mean, I think that people who are ready as you can be, right? Suddenly will be hit with it and realize, oh my gosh, now what? And then you're in it and you don't want to lose it. And so you're trying to find a way through it. But it's not easy. Um, I think starting to feel your emotions is the big piece. There is a chance in your healing that you skipped over the feeling what you need to feel part. There is a chance that you skipped over. Angie talks about going straight from a toxic marriage, I think it was, to finding law of attraction. Everything's wonderful and I can make my life what I want it to be. And it worked. And it worked for her and she was able to thrive and do really, really well and build her self-esteem and all this great stuff. And at the same time miss the opportunity and the what she needed to go through, which was feeling the ick, okay, and feeling the hard stuff. And vice versa, and what happened is it hit her later, is what she talks about, and then she had to recover and heal that yet again, which is what brought her to how she works with people. So, and I agree with this. I think similarly, some of us will, and I think maybe I'm one of these people, see the bad, feel the bad, accept the bad completely, and just yeah, this happened. I accept it. I can feel it. I'm not afraid to feel this yucky stuff. Like it's real. It's what was happening. But then I shut off the good. Does that make sense? And then I won't go. It was difficult to then climb my way out to find the good stuff. So, but life is a mix of the good and the bad, right? If you see healthy, happy person, they're not happy all the time. They recognize and feel the sorrows in their life. They recognize and feel the hard times as well as they do the good times. Sometimes they're holding both at the same time. So I think we get so locked in trying to control our emotions in order to survive that we forget to just feel them, or we haven't learned how to just feel them. So there is a big piece of re-engaging in a new relationship, or engaging in a new relationship and re-engaging with yourself in that way, that comes from learning to be present to your emotions, to feel them again, to wake up your emotional life in a big way. And it's not, I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it's going to be like all roses and happiness. It's going to be difficult for some people. And I mean, I've had clients come to me and say, yeah, I just don't cry. I feel the bad. I feel that I can take it. Right. And it- I had someone in particular that her whole goal was to learn to cry again, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like we have to break the protection that's around our emotional life in order to attach and engage with another human being in a real and deep and meaningful way, which is what we're seeking as empathic people, right? But then we struggle with it. So I think that is the biggest answer to this. And I finally got to it after a lot of fumbling. So hopefully whoever asked this question had the patience to wait 15 minutes through my fumbling in the beginning to get to that point, because I think that is the point of all of it. And that is somewhere where you may need help. How to do it is going to vary depending on who you are and why you're blocking, right? How you hold that shell to protect your emotional life. But one tip I have that's big is use your body, use your senses, use things that aren't related to your emotions or your mind, because your emotions and your mind are busy blocking the process, right? They're locked in blocking it. And so use your body, use your senses, experience something. Like right now, I am telling you, this is the singular best year of tree color I have seen ever. They are so bright and so beautiful. And if I just look at them, like I'm looking at them right now, they're all around outside. It's phenomenal. And that reaches me on an emotional level that helps. If I recognize it, then I am experiencing my emotional life in a very safe way that can open up. Does that make sense? Instead of going to the direct thing of the difficulty in the relationship, because I think when we block, we're just blocked and we have to find other ways to open it up, or else we're just stuck circling in the same loop. Okay. Okay. So what are we saying here? Question. Okay. Crazy question. If something comes up, so that worry about a narcissist gets put out of the equation, when or if the situation resolves, will you still be not be concerned about the narcissist or revert? I think that depends on what is going on in your life. I have seen people who get completely distracted, as you say, they're from the ruminating about the narcissist, by something really big, or enough to take the worry away, enough to take the thoughts away, right? Super focus taking, right? And I've seen people completely be like, well, that did it. That was it. I just needed something to focus on. And which is why we're always saying redirect, redirect, redirect. It's not to avoid, it's to find something else to focus on, because our brains get locked in focusing on the narcissist because they've trained us to do that. So, yeah, and sometimes you'll revert, so to speak. You'll go back to worrying about them, if especially if there's hoovers, or if you have maintained contact. So, hope that answers that. Asking if you've learned to handle a narcissist or just postpone the healing. Oh, wait. Did I miss that one? I think I missed one. Okay, I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna scroll back and do this. Um, it's about your children. Valkyrie is saying that, um, it's just so messed up because he hates me and he treats me like scum of the earth, and then he pretends to care about me whenever the situation I bring to him concerned our child. Oh yeah, that's so sick, isn't it? It's ugh. Yeah. Uh huh. I think learning to detach from what he thinks of you. Who cares? Honestly, I know you care. I know. I'm just what I mean by who cares is the indifference that can come when you feel the like, I don't care what you think of me, is very much freedom. So, um, stop trying to stop worrying about his feelings towards you, whether they be negative or positive, and just see it as his behaviors instead, which you're saying here. So just see it, see his behaviors. This is how he acts. Okay. You can start to see the patterns that way instead of taking it personal, which then hurts, which then, it isn't personal. Narcissists, that's how they treat people. Um, it feels personal. And of course, to you, it is personal, but we have to be the ones to step away from it. Let's see. What are we saying here? Oh my goodness, I'm getting all these. Okay. All right. Any other questions you guys have? I think we're getting close to wrapping up. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I might as well be. Having a day. Hey Adam, how's it going? If anyone has a question, or if they want to talk about this topic, I mean, I realize this is more of a narrow topic. Not all people, and in fact, many people watching these videos are not even remotely ready to be in a new relationship, or don't even trust friends right now. Okay, I realize that is the more common thing, and so this is less questions will be asked, but it is important because when you are ready, and when you are trying, and when these things come up, this feeling of wanting to bolt, I can't. It's there. It's part of it's very difficult to learn to be have a healthy attachment when you've had your attachment messed with, right? So, um yeah, that's what I got for that. Anything else, you guys, today? Is trust issues and PTSD normal part of the experience after being with a narcissist? Yes. Yes, it is, like, you don't trust anyone, of course. Of course, you've had your vulnerabilities manipulated. You've trusted in a very normal, healthy human way, and someone has very cunningly and very, um, strategically manipulated you. Of course, and you didn't see it. I'm just assuming here, right? But this is what most of us go through, and we don't see it. We don't see it coming. We don't see it happening when it's happening. And then we find ourselves in the middle of it or at the end of it or at the end of a discard and yeah, is it quite long term? I think it really depends on you. Go back and watch at about you came in a little later, so go back and if you weren't here, go back and watch what I said at about 14 minutes or so. And I talked about something that might help. So let's see. I'm just trying to my best to heal. I know. It's um trust takes time. What I think one thing we learn, especially if you were a really trusting person before or you just got if you got blindsided by this. Um it, we're not really it's not really like why should we trust people? Right? Trust is something people earn through showing you their behaviors over and over again over a course of time and through connection and through experience and through a slow and steady process. It's okay that it takes time to trust. We just have to be careful that we're not um, misreading people, making assumptions of people, uh, seeing sometimes people are selfish, seeing selfish behavior as narcissism too quickly. We have to be careful that we're gentle with people as well as we are learning to trust them, right? Because people make mistakes, people. But that's not to say when we see blaring red flags, we shouldn't turn and run. So it's again, it's finding the balance. Let's see. I have really struggled with that. I still sometimes very much want my mother to approve of me. She's gotten wired. Yeah, well, we have to let go of what are we saying here? Sorry, I'm getting too many things here. I'm furious because he's hoovering and using our kids as a way to hoover, but at times he treats me like crap. It, I get it. It's infuriating. It is infuriating. So, Valkyrie, finding a way to make him less significant. He is gonna use the kids. They triangulate children all the time. I have videos on it. Angie does. It's parallel parenting with a narcissist is one of the harder things. Okay, I would say having them as a parent and parallel parenting, they're very, very difficult. Because it's very difficult. Having them as a parent is difficult, but you can go no contact. You may not want to, but you can. Having them with parallel parenting, you can't. You have to maintain the contact, and it is um, it's finding strategies. So you know, finding ways to communicate with him that don't engage with what he's doing. Does that make sense? If he is saying horrible things to you, and in those horrible things, there's one thing you need to answer, just answer the one thing, don't answer to the horrible things. If you do that enough times, you begin to see the pattern that every time you speak, they're going to say something crappy. Every time you speak, they're going to say something crappy over and over and over. And you go, wait a minute, anyone reading what I wrote would have just answered the question. Why did they have to say all this crappy stuff? Because that's how they are. And so then you come to expect it. And then your expectation is that they will just be how they are. And when they are polite, you know they're up to something. And you just laugh it off like, I'm not giving you what you're up to. Whatever you want, sorry. And you just move on. Does that make sense? We have to kind of detach from it and stop making it about them attacking us. Yes, that's what they're doing. But if we keep taking it in, then we're receiving it. So it's sort of like you hold it out and you hand it back and go, "Yeah, I see that. No, thanks. Anyway, what is it that you need?" You know? Um, let's see. All right. Anything else today, you guys, that you have? Any questions? Does the narcissist know they have damaged us? Sometimes. Sometimes they do and they deny it. Sometimes they do, and so what they'll do is they'll immediately push the blame back onto you. They'll do things like even block you, even smear you, um, all of those things they're doing to push the accountability and the blame back onto you so that they don't have to feel anything about what they did to us, right? Um, they don't take accountability. Number one, they don't care. So they only care about how it makes them look. So if they damage you in some way and it makes them look bad to other people, they're going to smear you or they're going to block you or they're going to make you look crazy or call you crazy so that they don't have to take accountability, which then makes them look squeaky clean. And that's all they care about. They don't care if you um, feel damaged. They may care that they are a person that damages people. I've heard that said, but they don't care enough to do anything about it because it's always somebody else's fault. And they're better than people in their world, right? They live in a delusion. So, yeah, if that answers that. Hey Mystique. Nothing. No, the narcissist in my case is my children's father. He has a new supply and now they are perfect. Happily in love and happy couple. They are so not perfect, my friend. They appear to be perfect. Remember that she is being groomed right now. This new supply is in the love bombing stage. They are being groomed. They are being lied to. They are being manipulated. He is using her specific vulnerabilities to gain information about her, and he will hurt her just as bad. There is no perfect. Um, he once told me he was gonna show our kids what a healthy relationship between a man and a woman would look like with his new supply. Oh, yes, yes, he will, won't he? So here's the thing, if he can pull that off, it's better for your kids. Not because you're not in the picture, but because then he's not damaging them. But here's the thing, he won't. Okay? He's saying that to get you. He's using what he knows you can provide, what you are, you know what I mean? He's using it's like he's taking what you could do and claiming it as his own, because my guess is you could have a healthy relationship and show your kids what a healthy relationship between a man and a woman looks like, but he's pretending that he's the one who can do that. And he's full of it. All right. That's not how it works. It's just words he's using to hurt you, honey. Um, don't don't buy into that. Just say, okay, great. I'll be happy that my kids see that. You know what I mean? Just gray rock the heck out of this guy. He's not worth it. You need to work on your life being happy in your life for you and your kiddos, right? Not deal with him. Okay. What else? A few kids. Um, and the kids, yeah, the kids hopefully do get to see the reality of their toxic parent eventually. Sadly, but necessarily, right? Um, you told your children why you left their father, and that's a risky endeavor because of loyalties and loyalty binds that happen. I have a video on that, so watch that if you need it. If you are co-parenting, if you're parallel parenting with a narcissist and they are using things to try and alienate, which that's kind of what's happening. Go watch the loyalty bind thing so that you know which words not to use so that you're not counter loyalty binding and you're being more so here's the thing, when you're parallel parenting with a narcissist, your home has to be your home and it has to be sacred and like in the sense of these are what we do here, these are our morals, these are our ethics, I'm going to be who I am with you, I'm going to love you, you know what I mean, with your kiddos. And whatever goes on in that home, as long as they are not being um as long as it's something you don't have to intervene with or anything, then you just don't try to counter it in your own home. Just be you and be happy and um show them what a healthy, happy mom looks like, right? Or dad if you're the one, right? So, okay. Um After 8 years we weren't compatible and not healthy. 3 years with the new supply, they're looking to buy a house. They adopted a dog every week. It's it can take years. It really can, and you can only see what you see from the outside. You cannot see what goes on behind closed doors and in the privacy of the 2 of them together. When you're talking about new supply, we can't see the truth from the outside. It's impossible. A covert narcissist and a communal narcissist in particular is extremely good at hiding, especially if they need you to believe that they're one thing. So what he's doing is he's creating a delusional world where he needs you to believe something, and he's going to do everything he can to reinforce that world in your eyes. So he's going to make sure that it looks that way. Now, this person may be a person that has different breaking point or different things that upset them than you or different, so he's going to manipulate and use her differently. But he's not going to change. The narcissist won't change. They will just keep hurting people. Um, okay. Um, okay. Anything else, you guys? Did I miss anything? Everyone, I like this, Christy. Everyone besides my family said we were the perfect couple. I would laugh when they said that to me. Some people are really good at holding it in and sucking it up and putting on a face for everybody else so that nobody knows what they suffer. Okay. I told my daughter through actions what is wrong with what yeah. I'm glad it helps. You say I have no idea, but actually, we do. Yeah, yeah, we do. We have an idea. Mhm. Um, and I'm sorry that you're going through it. Um, yeah. Okay. Anything you need later, let me know in comments of any video. If you have any questions, I will try and answer you and get you some info if I don't have it. Everyone calls them the perfect family, of course. It's got to be so excruciating to watch from the outside, Valkyrie. It's got to be. I can only imagine how frustrating. It's an injustice, right? You see something that you know that this person is. You know how they treat you. Nobody who is a good family man or woman, but since it's a guy, we're going to say family man. No good family man calls the mother of his children names, even if he doesn't like her. He holds his tongue and he's polite, right? Unless you are coming at him screaming and yelling and he needs to say stop, he leaves you alone, right? And he supports your parenting with your children as well as his parenting with your children together, right? That's what a good person does. So it's got to be infuriating what you're feeling, and I can only imagine. Yeah, people tell me all the time how lucky I was. Oh my gosh, yes. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to head out. Oh yeah, I've got group. I'm gonna head out and start group. So if you need anything, again, check out the information in the main description of every video. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like. If you want notifications of my going live, text me at 33222. Put the word Lise live, all one word, Liselive. Hit send, and I will text you a few minutes before I go live. Most of the time. I try. All right. You're welcome. Um, you have a good one. You guys have a good weekend, and I will see you next week. I'll be over there with Angie on Tuesday and on here multiple times, hopefully throughout the week. Take care. Bye bye. What days do I go live? this is the problem. My schedule fluctuates each week, so I cannot pin down a day, and because of I fit it in between talking to clients and groups. So I wish I had a schedule, but if I commit to a schedule, I will fail you. So I don't want to do that. I am instead just trying to get on when I can. But Tuesdays with Angie, it is 10:30 Pacific, so 12:30 Central most weeks. Um, you have no cell. You can hit the subscribe here and hit the little alert button, the little bell shaped thing, and it should alert you beforehand. Um, you can email me, and if I know, I'll tell you. I do my best, and you get here a lot, so hopefully you are seeing notifications. I think that's it. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye bye.